A woman gets up early and goes out to look for her husband. She only finds her husband and the nanny walking out of the nanny's room one after another. There is still a bright red lipstick mark on her husband's neck, yet the woman does not choose to rush over and make a huge scene. Instead, she pretends not to have seen anything. She turns around and is about to take her daughter to register at the new school. Seeing this, the husband and the nanny, they think the woman has backed down, that she is going to give the school enrollment spot to the nanny's son. They immediately become elated and plan to take the son to register at the school. Little do they know how proud they are at this moment, how embarrassed they will be later. It turns out that just yesterday, the woman came home from work early, and she happened to see the nanny sitting intimately in her husband's arms. The woman immediately questioned them about what they had just been doing. Her husband stammered and did not know how to answer. The nanny, however, explained that the husband had just gone through the enrollment procedures for her son. She said she had been so happy that she accidentally fell into the husband's arms. At first, the woman believed her explanation. After all, the nanny is her mother-in-law's close friend. She should not have an inappropriate relationship with the husband. But the next second, the nanny's son ran over happily to show off his new school uniform. Right after that, the woman's daughter also ran out crying. She cried and complained that the nanny's son had snatched her school uniform. The woman immediately questioned her husband about what was going on. Only then did the husband explain that the nanny's son had no enrollment qualification, while their daughter had many options. So he transferred the school district house to the nanny's name, and the daughter's enrollment spot could also be given to the nanny's son. Upon hearing this, the woman flew into a rage on the spot and had a fierce quarrel with her husband. Because this enrollment spot is tied to the school district house, the woman had worked day and night for 8 years to buy this house, only to get this one enrollment spot for her daughter. She never expected that her husband, who had made no contributions at all, would give it to an outsider. When the husband found himself unable to argue with the woman, he could only accuse her of being too shrewish. At this moment, the mother-in-law also came over at the sound of the noise. She immediately scolded the woman fiercely for being too petty, saying the nanny was her good close friend and not an outsider, that the woman would not even do such a small favor. Upon hearing this, the woman was completely speechless. She then did not bother to argue with them anymore. She directly ordered the nanny's son to take off the school uniform, or she would drive the mother and son out of the house. Upon hearing this, the nanny's son burst into tears on the spot. Seeing this, the mother-in-law slapped the woman in the face and scolded her for not picking a fight with a child. When the daughter saw the woman being hit, she immediately tried to stop the mother-in-law, but she was also ruthlessly pushed aside by the mother-in-law. The mother-in-law kept muttering insults and said that the woman had only given birth to a daughter after years of marriage, that the nanny had at least given birth to a son who was 10,000 times better than her. Fearing that her daughter would be affected, the woman did not continue the quarrel, but after thinking carefully about it afterwards, she could not help but suspect that her husband and the nanny had an affair. She even thought that the boy was their illegitimate son. Seeing her husband walk out of the nanny's room early the next morning, it further confirmed her suspicion. The utterly disappointed woman did not choose to quarrel. Instead, she quietly called the real estate bureau. After explaining the situation, she reclaimed the property rights. She then withdrew the 5,000 yuan of alimony she gave to her mother-in-law every month, and froze all the supplementary cards she had given to her husband. She even secretly filed for divorce. Unaware of all this, the husband and the nanny still thought the woman had compromised. On that day, they swaggered to the school to register